Hi, in this video, I'm going to talk about delaying in action and how it can help your child communicate. So if you have a young child, you might be thinking, my child doesn't have patience and I am not going to delay any action and expect them to want to communicate. That's just going to cause them to be frustrated. And while that does sound logical, I am here to tell you that this strategy, when done well, can be really powerful and it actually can help to reduce frustration. So, what does delaying an action look like? So, this strategy can be done when you are playing with your child, especially when you're playing with a toy or activity that they really like. So, let's say your child really likes bubbles and you are blowing bubbles. So, you blow bubbles for a minute or two and you get them excited, you get them engaged, and then you stop and you wait. So while you're waiting, you're going to want to entice them to communicate with you. So while you're waiting, maybe you put the wand up to your mouth, maybe you kind of hold the bubbles away from them, maybe you shake the bubbles, you make the bubbles seem really fun and exciting, but you wait. So the goal is that you are going to encourage your child to communicate. And you don't have to require them to communicate. So if they are not able to make an attempt to communicate or they aren't willing to, then what you would want to do is model the expectation for them. So if you want them to tell you bubbles or go, then you would model it for them by holding it up to your mouth and saying, go, and then immediately blowing the bubble. So it's really important with this strategy that you are able to immediately follow through the action when the communication attempt has been made. So if your child is using AAC to communicate, you'll want to make sure that it is available when you are using the strategy. So, whether that means that they're doing sign language, picture exchange, or using a device, have that out and be able to use that to model communication with, which is a strategy that we will get into later on in this series. But for delaying an action, the main goal is that you are creating this communication temptation for your child that will encourage them to want to communicate because it will be fun. So rather than requiring them to say something or do something, you are simply encouraging and making it fun and exciting. And when your child communicates or attempts to communicate in any way, you want to immediately do the action that they're looking for. So it doesn't have to be a complete sentence, it doesn't even have to be a full word. So it really depends on where your child is and what they're able to do. So if your child is working on using approximations for words and you are working on the ba sound and they say ba, blow the bubbles. They tried, they made an attempt. So we want to reward these attempts and create an atmosphere where your child feels safe and secure and can try to communicate. If they're using pictures and they look at the picture or they tap it or they hand it to you, anything that they do that's within this realm of attempting to communicate, reward it. We want our child to understand that their communication is powerful and can help them control their environment. So, this strategy again is called delaying in action, and I would love to hear how it works for you and your child.